Right, so we've switched now from Roberts, which is there, and that's ongoing. So Steve, the electrician, has just been in and wired in the gauge that I spoke about that Roberts bought for the mech level. So we've got all that working now. That's all been hardwired. So I'll reinstall all that inside because it will be hidden under the carpet. So at the moment, Steve's just hardwired it on the outside of the car just to get it working. So no problem. So we'll move on to that. That's a different separate vids on these. Anyway, back to Richards. Now, the reason why the motor was out of this one before Roberts is because it was like sort of nearly out anyway to me, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because of the problem what we found with the piston skirt. So it just made sense to get this one out first because it's
basically there.
Really easier, isn't it? And Roberts would be then we're getting that one out soon. Anyway. Welcome to MJ Performance. As you can see, so the motor's out, drop down onto the bench. Easiest way of doing it for us, we just leave everything intact and then just disconnect it all. Leave as much on there as we can, and then what I'll do then is once we'll go through the bail process for this. Once we see, there's the clutch nut, the TTV twin plate ceramic metallics. That's got to come off again. So all that hard work you've done to me, lining all that off, you've got to take it all off again, mate.
Best part about it is
box it back up again.
It's Loctited in now, yeah.
Loctited in, yeah. So we'll box it back up again. And because we need to take that off to put it on the engine stand, and then we can go from there. So I'll have the bench there and on the engine stand, and then I can build it, no problem. I can't build it until the block's painted. So also waiting to do bits and pieces on this. At least the car can come up and down, no problem. We'll be on Roberts, and we've got other things to do as well, obviously. So we'll talk you through that as we're going through the process of the strip down, etc., etc. This is not even a big turbo or anything, so there's no like secrets. I've told you what I use. Arrow precision rods and arrow crank and Mallet pistons and blah blah blah. So we'll let you know as we go. But there's nothing that's there's no secrets on this one. Unlike Phil's is a bit secretive because of what we're doing on it, and we don't want we'll tell people what we want to know because or else your ideas get stolen and then they implement it. Try and do it for you, and then all that hard work is for nothing. Doesn't matter once the car is done. Even then, I won't be giving too much away. I've learned that, I'm afraid. So Timmy will whip the clutch off in a second, and then we're not using this block anyway. That's 2.31. That will be gone, and we'll show you the pistons when we take it out. We'll show you we showed you the bit of the skirt, didn't we? Yeah. In the bag, did we show that? We showed that on the video, didn't we? And we'll show you the actual piston, where those bits come from. But that's about it, I think, for this one. It's for the minute. I'll need to get my button gear and get the block painted, don't I? Both of them, really. This is going to be performance blue. That one's going to be grabber blue, same sort of blue as what's on the side, same as Viv's. So let's do it. I'm holding you up to me, yeah? Yep. Welcome back, guys and girls. We'll start with Richards, because this is Richards and all that stuff behind you, Timmy. So we're running, it's all Richards. Looks like a jumbo cell, doesn't it? Yep. Looks like the sort of thing you find at a show when they're selling lots of bits and pieces,
50 years to come.
On the floor.
That's what we like.
It is on the floor at a show, isn't it? It's great. Right, so we're like nearly finished the strip down on this. So as you can see, everything's all stripped off. The head's all off it, and the gasket's fine. Like I said, this is motor number 2. First one, 20,000, see you later. This is 30,000, see you later. Well, not quite see you later, but it would have been see you later soon. Is that right to me? Yep. So we look at the pistons now. So this is one with number 3 piston skirt. I'll show it to you when we spin it over and we'll carry on the vid. Is part of the skirt's missing. But as you can see, they don't look particularly clever, the pistons, to be fair. Not at all. Alright, when I take them out and I'll inspect them properly then, The DI valves you'll always get carbon dot. We'll show you that on Roberts, not on Richards, not on Roberts because he's running methanol. This runs our own custom software, not Revo. It has to run the methanol. Let's move across to Roberts because we might as well do that while we're here. It probably might be split into two bits, but we'll shoot across. So this is Roberts. All this is on the bench because I stripped this one first. This was going to be built first. All they're ready to go. That is for when I'll lay out the crank, the rods, pistons, and all that sort of stuff, and it's easier for me to start building it. The block is, so this is, well, it's rubber blue, if you want to call it that, non-metallic nitrous blue, if you want to call it that. It's actually listed as sky blue in the RAL colour, as you see. So Timmy's got a bit more masking to take off. Timmy, the thing to do is get it on the engine stand, and then we can start taking off the rest of the masking. But it's turned out really well, isn't it? So this is had 4 coats of X primer in it.
Yep.
It's all been through the hot wash before and cleaned. 4 coats of X primer and then 5 coats of 2K.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. Feels still looks brand new. The more coats you put on it, the better. It's like thermal as well. So that's ideal. So we'll crack on now and just do the rest of the demasking, and then we can, I can start piecing it back together. All takes time. The last thing you want to do is start steaming into it and rushing it through. You don't need to. You know, it takes time to get it right and check, double check, triple check, whatever many times you want to check it, just to make sure. I'll check it, Timmy will check it, make sure we've got it all bang on. There's lots of tolerances. We need to gap the rings. You know, I'm sure there's some people that just chuck the rings on the pistons and chuck them in the bore. We don't do that. The rings will be put into the cylinder. They'll be checked for gap with all the text back from Mala, like we did on Phil's, and it'll all be done properly. And then we'll show you what we're doing as we're doing it. But it's like, this is the same sort of build as Phil's, bar the crank. This is having an arrow steel crank, like I said before, where the actual gear sprocket pickup is missing. They take that off and it weighs 4 kilos lighter than the stock steel crank. We'll show you that when we put it on the bench. And so we'll be dummy fitting things first, and then we'll start to build it up properly. Not sure what head gasket we're going to use on this. Where on Phil's I used a multi-layer steel 5 layer Cometic on that. I like stock head gaskets. I think that because you've got to use a 2 litre head gasket on this, obviously. The stock gaskets are really good. I do really rate them. So it depends on the application and what we're doing it for, what we're using it for. So I don't know, I haven't decided yet. So we may fit stock gasket on it. We might put same as Phil's Cometics on it, but we'll find that out and make that decision soon. So let's crack on to me in it, and then we can resume later. See you soon. Right, you join us back, nearly stripped. We've just waited because we do a video on it, didn't we, Timmy?
Yep.
We were messing around, changing all the spray jets over in place, because the 2 litre oil spray jets are completely different than the 2.3 oil spray jets. They go in the opposite direction, all right? Meaning that one goes that side to spray under the side of the piston skirt, and that one goes to the other side. The problem you got is they will fit, and you can make them work, but not with the balance shaft, sprocket pickup, gear pickup, because that is too close to the oil spray jet. So on the RS it goes over that way. So if you come around here, look, Timmy. So you got the pickup there, look. So on the RS it goes, you can see them, look, see? They go over to the right. Under that underside of the piston skirt. On the 2 litre one, they don't. They go, it would be straight underneath that, all them teeth. So it wouldn't work. It will work, but that's for the standard crank. Arrow precision crank doesn't have this. That is removed, hence why it's lighter. So you could make it work with an arrow precision crank, not with a stock crank, so you need 2.3 oil spray jets. You cannot buy oil spray jets separately. Ridiculous, I know, don't sell them. It comes with a block. Well, we don't want a 2.3 block, do we? Because, hence why we're changing it for 2 litre, because they are beep, no good. That's right.
Yep.
So that's for the oil spray jets. I mean, we use the 2.3 ones ordinarily. If you're doing a build, they would be available, because as long as they got the 2.3 block, they'll be in there, should be, and then you just swap them over, don't you? But we can use 2 litre ones as well if necessary. Modify them a bit, you need to just bend them a little bit, but not with a stock crank, arrow precision. So what we're going to do now is whip this crank out. Yeah, I'm going to lift it out because I'm a lot stronger than you, and you to me would struggle.
Oh,
And
for
we
you
don't
talking
want
to the
that, do
viewers
we?
there, yeah.
We don't want that, do we? So we need to let's hoof them out now. There we go, look. Beautiful. Yeah, I can actually do. Yeah.
You've had your Weetabix today, mate.
Yeah.
Had your Weetabix?
Yeah. You know the score. So obviously main bearing shells, whatever you call them, are in there. Thrust washer, all in there. We don't need to mess around with that. But I wanted to strip this one down. Didn't have to do it on Roberts because I don't need to, and he can sell that then. But I just wanted to strip this one down to find out what was going on here. And Robert, confused. It's two R's. See, Robert and Richard. Richard, well, we won't be selling this as it is because of the pistons, which I'm going to be moving on to now. So let me just sprain my hands off a bit here. Not just my gloves. So anyway, I do work, guys and girls. In case you think that I don't, oh, you could be dreaming this. All right. So anyway, 4 pistons. There we are. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not fantastic. They don't look too clever. Piston 3. Remember we told you about the what we found in the oil pickup, which was rattling around, which Timmy found. Bits of piston skirt. Is that right, Timmy?
That's it, yep.
So there we are, look.
There's a nice
yeah.
one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not bad find, yeah?
Awesome, isn't it? So yeah. So we've got a bit there, hence why it didn't let go, but it might have gone on for ages and not let go, but I would imagine at some stage.
It's obviously weakened, so...
Yeah, it's weakening, and then what happens, as soon as that happens, it will then start cracking all the way up, then it's just going to see you later, innit?
Yep.
And then you'll have a catastrophic, I'll say that slowly, because you get your thing in a twast else, yeah?
That's it, yep.
Catastrophic failure, yeah? So, hence why we took all the pieces. So, I mean, the crank and that looks alright. There was no issue with the bottom end, it was just the actual piston on one. So when you see one doing it, who knows, maybe it's to do with the way that it's running with it being so lean there. I don't know, because that generates more heat. One's done it, what's the other's going to do? Follow suit? Don't know, it's a bit of a risk, innit? We found out, say the gasket's alright and all that sort of stuff. So now, we'll take that off. I'll drop the cradle, but drop the crank back in, the cradle back in, just do it up lightly, and then he can, whatever Richard wants to do, if he sells it, if somebody's looking for a 2.3 block, I think there's quite a few for sale, to be honest. It's not of no use to us, I wouldn't use it, of course, because I'll just use 2 litre ones now, which is over there, look.
Yep.
Yeah, as you see already, haven't we? So that's it. It's a wrap, as they say. So we'll finish up now, and we'll continue this. There's loads to loads of vids. Well, it'd be quite a few vids on this, Timmy, wouldn't it?
Yep.
For Roberts and Richards. Really good builds, have 2 in at the same time, 4 pretty much identical builds. With regards to all the internals, which I've already said, arrow crank, arrow rod, manual pistons, all the RP stuff. They're having double valve spring Piper cam. Well, it's Piper cams, but they're not having Piper cams. It's Piper double valve springs, which comes with the your washers and your caps and your double valve springs, obviously, and the valve stem seals. Means that we don't have to buy them from Ford, then, to me,
No.
It's all in the kit. So these 2 applications are having that, which is great. And then yeah, we'll bring you along for the ride, super ride, yeah.
That's it.
Mega ride.
Mm.
And then when we get to the little beast, ultra ride, yeah?
Yeah.
This is in a category of its own right up there, yeah?
Yep.
So, no offence, guys, yeah? But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, yeah?
Yep.
Be a little while, but worth waiting for. A bit like you waiting to go, yeah?
What are you trying to say?
Like now, yeah? Worth waiting for, yeah? Right, to me, it's not all
On the starting blocks, yeah?
On the blocks, I have the gun ready to fire, and you can use
with the blank, yeah?
you can use saying the bolt hell out of here, yeah?
That's it.
Alright, see you soon. And welcome back to another instalment of Richard's Mark III Focus RS, which is here, look. No engine in it. Bit of a slow progress on this one, purely because I've had to concentrate on getting Roberts done first, because Roberts was the first one you know, in the queue. So that's pretty much done now. Watch previous videos, you'll see the build up to that, and where we're at with it now is just road testing it really, just to put some miles on the engine, on the bedding process. We'll put 500 miles on it with the run-in and oil, dump that out, and then we'll put the 040 Castrol edge in it, do another 500 miles. I'm happy with that, everything's all good. Then Robert will get it collected, then it'll be delivered. Well, I won't deliver it, he'll get it collected and took back to Surrey. But that's all to come on that one, you'll see that. It's all really turned out well on that one. But anyway, back to Richards. Same sort of thing, so 2 litre block, close deck. As we talked about before, on the original 2.3 EcoBoost block, it's open deck, it's weak, everybody knows that now. I don't need to go into detail about why and all that sort of stuff, you can look it up yourself, it's a well-known fact now. So what we do is 2 litre block, closed deck, basically is fitted to the ST250, Euro 5, Euro 6, all the same. And yeah, so this is the stage we're at with Richard. So it's all been prepped, gone out to Pete Willis, our engine machinist. He's prepped all that, checked it. All the bores have been sorted, so it's all mint. And as you can see, we've painted it. Richard wanted it in performance blue. Roberts was in grabber blue, the brighter, like nitrous-y blue colour, but this is performance blue, full performance blue, so that's all done. And I'm just starting now to start building it all back together. It's been tricky to do that, obviously, because I've been so busy with other things. You can see that Phil's is there, and then we've got Monty's down in the MT bay, so there's just so much to be getting on with. There's not enough hours in the day. So I've only literally just started doing this. So as you can see there, look, Laura, just scanned out. All spray jets are in. So I'm just putting the King race bearings in, that's the mains. And then you got your thrust in the centre there. And then the Credo is here, look. So that's the Credo. They don't have individual mains caps, it's a Credo. And then you'll see your bearings are sat in there. Here's our exclusive balance shaft delete. So where the balance shaft would be sat in there, that's gone. It's just for refinement. That's what a balance shaft is for, a bit like dual mass. It's all just refinement and emissions and all this sort of nonsense in it. So we get rid of that, throw that away. So you got to blank off the feed to it, which is Julian down at Proform Engineering, one of our technical partners. He's made these for us. Nice little touch on that with the engraved the MJP with the 3 hexagons, pretty cool. So that's all done. It's obviously having a baffled sump, one of ours. So you use the original sump, baffled plate, a lot cheaper than having to buy a mount tune complete sump. So they're available, so we can get in touch if you're interested in that. So that's that side of it. So I'm just starting to build that up now. Quickly, we'll just show you that. So in here is our precision crank, as you can see. So it's a bit different. I'll talk to you about it more once I do a continuation on this video. As you can see, one thing you will notice about this one, the Arrow precision crank and the stock crank, is the actual gear wheel, sprocket pickup for the balance shaft. It's gone, so that's quite weighty. And other things that you notice, when you eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that the counterweights have been revised. So some of them are missing, been revised, and that is 4 kilograms lighter than the stock crank. So basically what they do is, the stock crank is steel anyway, so why would you reproduce another one? There's no point, it's already steel. So what Arrow Precision do is they modify it, enlighten it, and as I say, remodify all the counterweights and take off the balance shaft delete sprocket on it. Well, I'll show you that. I'll compare it to the stock crank. If you look, well, this stock crank is just like there. Look, it just gives you an idea. There it is there. Look. So You can see what I was talking about. There's a bank shaft pick up there. Look. All right, so that's gone all machined off. But we're talking about all that in depth. Other things quickly, as you can see, look, all like exploded view on the floor is how I stripped it down, and then it'll just reverse order. But all the valves have been cleaned up. They're all done, all been like decoked because it's obviously DI. They suffer from the inlets getting coked up, don't they? And then just quickly on the bench look. I mean that's the cradle underneath is the stock. So we used a 2 litre head gasket. It's a multi-layer steel one anyway. I do rate the Ford OE gasket. It's really good. Why? There's no reason to start putting anything else on it. Feels a bit different. That had a 5-layer multi-steel Cometic on it, but this is same as Roberts. We'll just run it with the stock steel head gasket. Again, 2 litre one, not 2.3. 2.3 won't fit. All right, and then we got the King race bearings. So that's the mains, which I'm fitting now. That's your big ends, which will be next. Mala Motorsport pistons. As you know, that's all I like to use on that. Circlips, gudgeon pins, arrow precision rods. I mean, I'll get these out. We'll do a continuation on the video. It's only just like a presentation one, just to show you what's what. We'll get the arrow precision rods out. They're the best, all right? They're just the arrow precision. They're the most expensive, but as I say, you get what you pay for. All right, so we'll get one of them out to show you, but they're mega. All right, very high end. The name says it all, Arrow Precision. ARP, main studs, head stud kit, and then all your bits and pieces here. So when I do these builds, I don't mess around. I don't reuse timing chains or guides or bolts and stuff like that. Everything's replaced. You know, your little diamond cut shims on it for the crank, everything's replaced. As you can see here, look, rear main seal, the pickup, your gaskets. This is not all of it. There's other stuff to come, and then you've got your tensioner and your for your oil pump chain and all that sort of stuff. Replace it all. Why would you reuse old stuff? There's just no point. Just replace it. You only want to do it. Well, the idea is you do it once and that's it. But yeah, that's all. It's just a quick one. Just an update on Richards. As it starts, it'll come together quite quickly once we get into it. But yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge over the last couple of months. But we'll go into a bit more detail and reasons why on that. But yeah, and then just quickly, as you can see, look, Fails is there. Nothing wrong with Fails. All right, I've took the head off it again because we're going to the next phase on it now, and it just made sense to do what I'm going to do with it with regards to cams and just changing the turbo setup a little bit and all that sort of stuff. That runs on the Cyvex ECU system, same as what Richards is going to be running on as well, because the reason why he's going to run on Cyvex with the methanol is because he wants to go the same route as Phil in the near future, hence why he's doing that. All right, but we'll let you know a bit more on Phil's, the reason why we're doing all that, and then that's more to come in the future. All right, so guys and girls, back onto Richards, just sharing with you progress that we're making on it. So you can see, as we talked about before, this is a 2 litre closed deck block which we painted up. So that's had it's all been blasted in the hot wash. Pete Willis has done that, our engine machinist, and then we've obviously prepped it. It's had 4 coats of 2K etch primer and then 4 coats of 2K paint in this application. Performance blue, as you can see. That's what Richard wanted. So the bottom end is pretty much done now. I mean, I know you can't see, you can see that the oil pump chain's on and the lower sprocket, tensioner, etc. Arrow precision rods are in. You might be able to, I don't know if you can see, Laura, you might be able to see through there. I don't know if you can see or not. Well, it says arrow precision on the rod. Might be able to see it, look, can you?
Nope.
No, well on the rod it's got arrow precision on it. And then we got mallet pistons, look. So they're all fitted up, all good. Rear main crankshaft oil seals all on. Arrow steel precision crank, which we'll talk about later. Like I said, it's 4 kilos lighter than the stock crank. Stock crank is steel anyway, so what Arrow do is they just reprofile, modify, and do their trickery, I suppose, on the crank, and it ends up 4 kilos lighter. The balance shaft gear pickup is deleted, and the counterweights are reprofiled as well. So that's it, and the sump's all on, all baffled. Got my blank in there as well, so that's all ready to go. So what I'm going to be doing now is just concentrate on building up the head. So the painstaking, lots of patience needed for the valves with the collets. Horrible job. If anybody knows about it, easy to get them out, painted, put them back in. So head's been all prepped again by our friend Pete Willis. Does all the engine side of it for us, the preparation side of it, not building. I can do that. It's just the this side of it. So all the valve stem seals are in, and then we're using, they're not the original valve stem seals, but the top hat type. We're not using that because we're putting a Piper kit in it, double valve springs, as you can see. There it is. So there's your double valve springs. If anybody's not seen them before, it is what it says. It's double valve springs, so it's a lot stronger. And then you've got your caps, like that. All right, so shims are all in there. And yeah, so that's the double valve springs. We're running stock cams in this, so we're just trying different things. It'll run a Cyvex, but we'll explain later what Richard's plan is, because he's going to follow what Phil's doing basically. So once we tell you what we're doing on Phil's, and then he wants to go that route, hence why he's having a Cyvex in the so he doesn't have to worry about that later. But yeah, so it's just a case of building that up, and then we'll go to the next phase and then carry on from there. So until the next time, ciao. This is Richard's Mark III Focus RS, for those of you who don't know about this car. Similar build to Robert's, which we've previously done. So we're just on like phases on this now to complete it. I've done lots of other things on it whilst we've been going along. It's not possible to film and do videos on everything because it would, I just ain't got the time. It's just it is what it is, and I'll do whatever I can, but I can't really spend time showing you exactly what I'm doing. It would just, it doesn't make sense. That's not we wouldn't make any money because we would be showing you all day what we're doing, and it's only me. So yeah, as you can see, look, the motor's all in. It's all built. The drivetrain's all in. We talked about the gearbox side of it, where it's had the same clutch as what Robert's got on his, which is the TDV Racing twin plate, ceramic plates in that, 215mm, so steel billet lightweight flywheel, and we've also put this one, stripped it, and put in carbon synchros in it, so we haven't messed around. While it's out and it's in pieces, you might as well just do it. This car is going to be pushing big power step by step, so we're not going to be doing it straight away like Phil's. We're going to be, he's going to be doing it in stages. So this particular one is still going to run the stock turbo, but it'll run a Cyvex ECU, which we've already got, and that'll be done by Racecal, same as what we'll see that we're doing Phil's, but full methanol, different route. The millet. It's not a millet, it's billet. Hey, B doesn't sound like an M, does it? It's crazy. Billet manifold, same as what was on Robert's, but this time a little bit different. He wants to keep it all stealthy. Robert's was a bit in your face, which is, he had the powder coated manifold section and the powder coated orange plenum running full methanol. Different setup than this because that was utilising the stock ECU. Our own software custom tune on that Tommy done at Velocity Tuning. This is different. This is going to run Cyvex, so it'll be and it'll have the extra port injectors are already done in the plenum for petrol injectors, extra ones, but that they won't be active at the moment. That'll be later on down the road. So you'll see that. We'll present that later on the bench when we get a chance. When we come around to doing that, when I'm ready for that, and show you what design, the finish on it. The actual manifold bit, the finish on the plenum, what we've done and all that. We'll talk about it when we've got on the bench a bit later on. But yeah, all the dry shafts, so let's say gearbox, dry shafts in, transfer box, all that's all on, all the subframe, everything's all up. we're just configuring now all the MEF lines. Certain amount I can do on this ramp, then I have to take it off and do it on the 4-poster because you can't get the doors open, and I'll need to, the seats need to come out and all that sort of stuff. Same race tank as Robert's, the 3-gallon race tank with the hidden pump underside, so you can't see it. It's all integrated, which is really good. Yeah, all the hoses are all on that, as you can see, all our branded hoses, all the ancillaries and the radiator ones that you can. We had this presented on the bench, didn't we? It's having a big brake kit, one of our big brake kits on the front, which would be in the same as the block, or which is the performance blue, as opposed to Roberts and Phil's, which is like the grabber blue, the same colour as the calipers basically. They wanted to go that route. Richard wanted something a little bit different, which is good. You know, we're always up for that. So what we're going to talk about now is what's on the bench. So we just give you a brief outline of, you know, a catch up on what we're doing and how we're at with the car. So you can see that. So there's a Pro Alloy radiator. Again, we always recommend operating the radiator. Why wouldn't you? You know, lots of people forget about cooling the car. So, you know, they talk about the power and the torque, and I want this and I want that, but what about cooling it? You know, first off, a better radiator, as you can see here. Look, so this is a Pro Alloy one, as we just said. It's really light. It's all been flow tested. It's of the highest quality. I mean, look, Pro Alloy, they manufacture and fabricate all sorts of things for race teams, BTCC, etc. So I think they know what they're doing. We fitted a few of these, and it's in my opinion, it's a must. That's going to be a lot better than your standard, you know, plastic end tanked little thin radiator, which is stock. Much better job, all alloy. So, and then we'll run it on Evans waterless coolant as well. Another something else that we recommend to go with it. You got all the operated hoses that we just showed you, so you're sort of like done on that side of it. And then that's the water, well, it's waterless coolant there. So that's the coolant side of things taken care of. And then we'll be putting a Mishimoto oil cooler onto it as well, and that sorts out the oil side of it, which we've from the beginning, that's what I said, you know, about cooling the fluids. So we'll show you the Mishimoto oil cooler when we present that on the bench. We'll talk about that when I'm ready to fit it, but we'll get the rad in first, and then we'll talk about the intercooler. The intercooler is going to be put back on, so he's already got a mount tune intercooler on, which is very similar to the Revo one, you know, same sort of thing. That was made by Pro Alloy, the mount tune one. So again, it all matches. So there's no need to change that. If we have a problem with it later on when he ups for big power, then we'll think about changing it then. But at the moment, no problems at all. So there's still lots and lots to do on this car. It's not, by no means is it anywhere near finished, but we're getting there. But I quite like it because it's a bit different than, you know, Roberts is quite extreme in your face and, you know, multicolored under the, you know, you've got the blue in the, you know, he's got the grey in the orange and black and all sorts. Whereas this is just keeping it all pretty stealthy, Richard. So two different ends of the spectrum, which is really good. We like that. Yeah. So we'll keep you updated on what's going on with this one, and then we'll show you more as we go. All right. And you can actually see that, Laura. If you come down here, look, you can see that. Just down on there. I mean, that's the Mishimoto sandwich plate with all the unions on it, which I've just loosely fitted. Don't tighten it up at the moment because you need to follow where the lines are and all that sort of stuff. This is all the MEF lines in black. Robert had it in blue. And then obviously when we put the plenum on, we've got this going to have a radium catch can as well. So that'll be fitted and located around here. Same as what Robert had, only on the PCV side. And then we'll configure all the MEF lines. It'll have to be the same as Robert's, so but it will look different because it's got the extra port injector. So they'll be planked off, but on the front. Okay, so yeah, lots and lots to come on this one. Really exciting. So yeah, without further ado, we better crack on.